Welcome to the latest edition of the Mirus Industry Analysis. The June data is in, and it's a quietly encouraging month for the sector. Occupancy has climbed higher again, and providers have lifted care hours across every single workforce category. Let's get into what's driving it as winter sets in. The average daily subsidy held virtually steady in June, edging up just 1 cent to $313.96 across the sector. As always, remember that any small movement in the most recent month tends to be backfilled over the following weeks as backdated reassessment uplifts are processed. So expect that figure to firm up. Claiming activity ticked up slightly, with just over 7% of Medicare claims now being assessed by AMOs. Voluntary claiming also lifted, rising to just under 4.9% for the month. Encouragingly, the age of ANAC claims eased back in June, with just under 45% of claims now sitting at more than 12 months of age, down more than a full percentage point, and a welcome reversal of the upward creep we'd been tracking through the first half of the year. The standout, though, was reassessment efficiency. The average time from request to reassessment fell to just under 16 days, an improvement of nearly 12% on May, and one of the strongest turnaround results we've seen. That's a real positive for providers waiting on funding uplifts. Occupancy continued its steady climb in June, up a further 0.2% to sit at just over 93% across the sector. That extends the upward trend we've been reporting through autumn and into winter. The growth was driven by a solid lift in new permanent admissions, up nearly 6.5% to just over 5,000 new residents for the month, with MM1 facilities close behind at just over 6%. Respite usage also rose, up 1.3% to more than 185,000 bed days nationally. Interestingly, the proportion of short-term stays under 6 months fell by more than 1.5 percentage points to just under 18%, suggesting more residents are settling into longer-term care. The respite to permanent conversion rate, on the other hand, pulled back noticeably, dropping over 5 percentage points to just over 49%. That's worth keeping an eye on. The average age of new admissions held steady at just over 85 years. On accommodation pricing, June told an interesting story. The weighted average advertised room price rose 0.4% to just over $607,000, but the number of homes actually adjusting their prices dropped sharply. Only 68 services increased their highest room price, and 67 increased their lowest. That's the fewest price adjustments we've seen in a single month since December. So prices are still edging up, but the pace of repricing has cooled considerably. Turning to workforce, care delivery ticked upward again in June. Total direct care time rose just under 1% to just over 230 minutes per resident per day, comfortably above the 215-minute target by nearly 16 minutes. RN minutes led the way, up over 2.3% to just under 48 minutes per resident per day. Allied Health also posted a strong lift of nearly 7%, and diversional therapy and activities officers jumped more than 10%. Across the board, every care category recorded an increase, a sign that providers are continuing to invest in care hours even as they fine-tune delivery against the mandate. All up, June 2026 was a quietly positive month for the sector. Occupancy is still climbing, care delivery remains well above target, reassessment timeframes have improved markedly, and the aging profile of ANAC claims has finally started to ease. On the watch list, that sharp drop in the respite to permanent conversion rate and the notable slowdown in room price adjustments. As always, the data tells a story, but it's what you do with it that counts. Whether you're looking to sharpen your care minute delivery, refine your accommodation pricing strategy, or get ahead of your funding and reporting obligations, the Mirus team is here to help. Reach out to us today, and let's make sure your facility is well positioned for the months ahead. Until next time.